Hi everyone and welcome to today's video on a really nasty day outside. It's raining, it's windy, it's cold, it's just a little bit gross. I'm in my parents' house today because I've come over to look after the dog. So if there's a little bit of road noise, I ain't doing nothing about it because it's the main road outside. Sorry. So today I'm actually really excited about what I'm doing on this video because I came up with the idea last night and then I thought, you know what, I'll just make the video, I'll do it, I'll make it. And it's a video about everything that I grew up with. I say everything, a few things that I grew up with. And I really want to see if any of you had the same things when you were growing up. So I thought that it would be quite fun. I'm going to show you a few things that I found around the house today that I had during the 90s and the early 2000s, which were just fantastic things, like really groundbreaking things for children, and so I loved them and I want to share them with you because I've hoarded them for all of these years. So without further ado, let us kick off with the abundance of things I'm going to show you. First of all, we have something that I think every single child, at least every girl, wanted. This was when I was in about year 3 at school, so I was 7, 8-ish. It's a baby G. Who didn't want a baby G? And I had one of the really cool ones that there's a little button on the bottom and if you pressed it, dolphins went across it. Dolphins! So I was very lucky, I got one. I think that bit used to be white and it's now kind of brown. Ew. Staying on the things that you put on your wrist theme, I also found some of those. Do you remember these? The kind of bracelets that are used to be full of water and gel. And also barbed wire bracelets. I think I've chewed off the barbed wire bits. Definitely chewed off the barbed wire bits. Another thing that I'm pretty sure every little girl went through at some stage during school life, friendship bracelets. I clearly got bored with this one and forgot how to finish it, but that's pretty good. I clearly didn't like anyone enough to give it to them, but you know, I kept it for myself. Impulse spray. I think everybody had Impulse spray or some type of brand that was similar to Impulse spray. This one actually doesn't smell very nice. Oh no, but hence why it's not used. Impulse sprays, they were everywhere. Now maybe not every child had this one, at least maybe boys would have, I'm not so sure about girls, but personally I was obsessed with the Beano. I have hundreds and hundreds of Beano magazines downstairs, and just to prove how much of a Beano fan I really am, I'm an official member of the Beano Club. I'm a gold member of the Beano Club. I'm a platinum member of the Beano Club. And now I am going to say I was also a life member, but I can't find that card, so I'm a little bit upset about that. The Beano. Excellent read. Staying on the topic of magazines, I did also like the girly ones, and I loved Girl Talk. I can't actually find any copies of Girl Talk, but I found this. So clearly at some point I wrote to Girl Talk, don't know why, and they said, thanks for your letter, it's always fab to hear from Girl Talk readers. Your ideas help us decide what to put in the magazines. You know, never got printed, but I read it. I was one of the people who owned Friends on a video. I've got so many of these videos downstairs and I don't actually think they're worth anything now, so, you know, if you want any Friends videos, let me know. Let's talk about technology briefly. I had an iPod mini. Oh, I forgot that you could engrave the back! So what I've put on the back as an engraving, I love llamas, smiley face. Tabby Cox, smiley face. This was my first phone, a Samsung. I loved it. I had a little witch in the screen when you turned it on and it went doo 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 doo. I then upgraded to an LG. Annoyingly, I can't turn any of these on to read the text messages because I've lost all the chargers. And I then got a really cool LG, which was like a mirror for a screen. I cracked it. This is the phone that I then went to an iPhone afterwards, so I was an LG Samsung kind of girl. Also, as a random point during this video, while I was looking through all of these boxes of things, I found a Christmas card addressed to Jacqueline, and I opened it, and inside I've written, Dear Jacqueline, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, love from Tabby, and then I've drawn a Christmas pudding and a penguin. I don't ever remember going to school with someone called Jacqueline, so if your name is Jacqueline and you know me, can you let me know because I've got a Christmas card for you. A recorder. I'm sorry, but who in school did not get given one of these? This was year 1, and look, I've even actually got my name on the recorder, just in case anyone tries to take it and take it as theirs. You know, this one was mine. I'm definitely not going to blow that. It looks like it's got diseases on it. Groovy Girls! I don't know if anyone else had Groovy Girls. Me and my cousin definitely did. We were obsessed with them. And once there was the same one that we both really wanted in the shop, so then we both had to get a different one. This one was my favourite. Look at her hair. Oh, I've plaited this one's hair into tiny, tiny plaits. My cousin and I, we would literally sit in bed and just plait their hair and change their outfits. In fact, I have a feeling that this particular outfit that's on this Groovy Girl might be Natty's Groovy Girl's outfit. Natty, can you have a look and tell me if this is true? I don't remember this one with little pink shoes wearing big flared cool trousers. Now I can't find my actual Game Boy Advance because I upgraded to a Game Boy Advance SP for free once, and so I've got that somewhere. I do have my Game Boy Advance Game Boy games, and Super Mario 3 was one that me and my friend Camilla used to play all the time and just constantly try and finish it, and I still have never finished this stupid game because there's one level with a ghost house that's just too hard. I can't do it. I found these amazing changing pens, and you're supposed to draw with them and the colour changes or something, or there's a white one that you're supposed to go over it and then it changes the colour. So there's a yellow lid on that one, but it's a blue pen, so if you drew with it, it was blue, but if you went over it with the white pen, it turned yellow. They clearly weren't that popular as they're all still in the box, and they smell kind of weird. PC computer games. Now I never had a PlayStation and I never had an Xbox or anything because my dad was really good at PC stuff, so I had a steering wheel on the PC, and then I got great PC games. Bugs Life. Cats 2. I'm sorry, if you didn't have cats or dogs, you didn't grow up in the 90s. You didn't, or the 2000s, I can't remember when this came out. Pandemonium 2, this was my favourite game in the world. I actually went online and got all of the cheats for it, so I just was invincible all the time, and therefore it was a great game because you could never die. In fact, never die was one of the passwords. If you've got this game, type in never die as a password and you're just invincible forever. Harry Potter! We are the generation of Harry Potter. This is the 4th Harry Potter book, which I remember thinking, oh my goodness, it's the biggest book I've ever seen. And I went with the guides. I was in the guides at this point, and we went to the opening at Waterstones, and me and my friend Katie went, and we stayed up until midnight until the book launch happened, and we did this little quiz game that meant that we could be either the 1st, 2nd or 3rd person to buy the book. I was the 3rd person. Pretty sure Katie was the 1st. But then she was very clever and she did know her stuff about Harry Potter. But yeah, so I was the 3rd person in my town to buy this book. The final thing on my list for today of going through these things, I'm sure I'm going to come across loads more things and then want to do another one, in which case I will do. And I do also have a massive stash of Beanie Babies somewhere, which I can't find, but I had so many of them, so Beanie Babies, they're in there as well. But the last thing, pencil cases. I'm sorry, but if you went to a school, you had like 50 pencil cases, and every year you would go in the summer holidays to buy a new one, and if your mum didn't let you buy a new one, it was the worst thing in the world. And then inside the pencil case, I've got a massive stash of gel pens. I've got sparkly gel pens and some smelly ones in there. They were so much fun! Pencil cases and gel pens. Who doesn't love them? Who doesn't love them? So that was a brief look through the things that I grew up with in the 90s and the 2000s. Is that how you say it? Do you say 2000s? The noughties! Ah! 90s and the noughties. This is what I grew up with. All of these things. If you've had some of the same things, then leave me a comment or something and let me know that you also had these things, and then, you know, we grew up in the same time. It's nice. It's joining people together. So I hope that you have enjoyed this nostalgic trip if you were a 90s and a noughties child, because I've loved it. It's really fun. I've discovered all of these things that I used to have, and I'm really determined to find my phone chargers to read some of their messages, because I think there's going to be some pretty good stuff on there. If you haven't already, then please do subscribe to this channel, because I do videos on all sorts of things, and normally there are cats involved, but as I'm at my parents' house, they're not in this particular video, but they will be back soon. They will. I hope that you have a lovely week and an excellent weekend. I don't even know what day it is. So enjoy it. Bye!